If you've ever poured a glass from the tap and thought, "Why does this taste a little off?" You're not alone. Sometimes you just want water that feels clean and easy, something you'll actually use for cooking, coffee, filling bottles, and grabbing a cold drink without thinking about it. In this video, you're going to see the best Waterdrop filter picks across a few very different styles, because best depends on how you live. Undersink versus countertop, fast flow versus hot and cold dispensing, and simple filtration versus full reverse osmosis. I'll keep it practical. What you set up, what you notice day to day, and what maintenance really looks like once it's part of your routine. And if you want to compare for yourself, I've put links to the lowest price I've found right now for each of the best Waterdrop water filters in the description box below. Let's start with the Waterdrop 6-stage undersink ultrafiltration system in this Waterdrop undersink filter review, because it's built for the just give me clean water on demand kind of household. You're working with an undersink setup that delivers a fast, stable flow, 1.5 gallons per minute. So filling a pot for pasta or topping off a bottle feels like using the tap, not babysitting a slow trickle. That speed matters in real life because you don't change your habits. You just reach for water more often. And since it doesn't need electricity, it sits quietly under your sink and does its job. What stands out here is the 0.01 micron ultrafiltration membrane inside a 6-stage system. So you're catching tiny stuff like bacteria, chlorine, and heavy metals, while still keeping beneficial minerals like calcium and magnesium in the water. The way that plays out is simple. Your water feels cleaner and more normal for everyday cooking, rinsing produce, making tea, washing rice, without stripping it down like reverse osmosis does. You're not staring at numbers or settings, you're just getting filtered water that fits into everything you already do in the kitchen. This one leans hard into durability, and that's part of the ownership story. The housing uses food-grade stainless steel and a thick sealing ring, so you get a build that resists corrosion and is designed to hold up under pressure without turning into a leak worry under your sink. It's certified by IAPMO R and T to NSF and ANSI 42 and 372. So you get a clear safety baseline for contaminant reduction and lead-free materials. In practice, it's the kind of system you install and then stop thinking about. Maintenance stays straightforward too. You're set up with filter lifespans that, in normal use, run about 6 to 8 months for the pre-filter, around 12 months for the UF filter, and about 12 to 24 months for the carbon filter. So you're not constantly swapping cartridges. Installation is designed to be quick with all the parts included, and you can choose wall-mounted or floor-standing placement with no drilling, so it fits the space you actually have. The upshot is a fast, no-fuss undersink filter that keeps your water feeling clean without turning your kitchen into a project. Drop a comment below. Are you leaning towards an undersink setup or a countertop filter? Because the space you have changes the whole setup. Next up in this Waterdrop water filter review is the Waterdrop N1 Countertop RO system. And the whole point here is flexibility. You don't have to touch your plumbing. Just set it near an outlet, fill it, and you're in business. So it's an easy fit for apartments, offices, or anywhere you want purified water without committing to an undersink install. It's rated at 75 gallons per day, so you have plenty of output for steady day-to-day drinking. In real life, that means you can keep refilling bottles and cups without feeling like you're running out every time you use it. The filtration approach is full reverse osmosis, and the core RO membrane is 0.0001 micron, so you're filtering down to an extremely fine level for dissolved solids. The cartridges combine RO membrane, carbon block, and PP cotton, so you're reducing TDS and dialing down common tap water taste issues like chloramine. On top of that, a UV light activates automatically every hour to eliminate bacteria and viruses in the feed water, so the water you dispense stays treated even as it sits inside the unit. Besides being way healthier to drink, the main result is water that tastes cleaner and feels more blank canvas for coffee, tea, and cooking. Where the N1 gets especially practical is water use and day-to-day control. You get a 3-to-1 drain ratio paired with drain water recycling technology, so you're sending less water down the drain while you're making purified water. The built-in smart display keeps you connected to what's happening, with TDS readouts and a filter life indicator, so you're not guessing when it's time to maintain the system. You also get multiple volume settings, which is a small thing that becomes a daily convenience when you're filling a mug, a bottle, or a recipe measure. Living with it stays low friction. Filter swaps are designed to take about 3 seconds with no tools, so upkeep feels like changing a cartridge, not doing maintenance. The CF filter lasts up to 6 months, and the MRO filter up to 18 months, which keeps your routine predictable. It runs as low as 40 decibels, so it can sit on a counter without becoming the loudest thing in the room. If you want Countertop RO, that's plug-in simple and still gives you real purification. This one lands nicely in this Waterdrop filter review. By the way, what are you noticing from your tap right now? Chlorine taste, a smell, or buildup in your kettle? Leave a comment so I can see what most people are dealing with. Next up in this Waterdrop filter comparison, let's move under the sink again with the Waterdrop G3P600, which is built for speed and a cleaner-looking setup. It's a tankless undersink RO system, so you save undersink space and you're not working around a bulky storage tank. The output is rated at 600 gallons per day, and it can fill a 6-ounce cup in about 6.5 seconds. So grabbing a quick glass feels immediate instead of wait for the tank. That translates to a kitchen that keeps up when you're cooking, washing produce, and refilling bottles back to back. Filtration is 8-stage and centers on a 0.0001 micron RO membrane with UV sterilization. So you're cutting down TDS and targeting common problem categories like chlorine taste and odor, plus items like PFOA and PFOS, fluoride, arsenic, and lead. It's certified to NSF and ANSI 42, 58, and 372. So you're getting a clear performance and materials framework that supports everyday confidence. In practice, you end up with purified water that makes coffee taste cleaner and lets you cook without the tap water edge coming through. The faucet experience is a big part of why people pick this style. You get a smart faucet that monitors TDS and tracks filter life, so you can glance down and know where your water stands without doing a test kit routine. That kind of feedback makes the system feel more like an appliance and less like a mystery box under the sink. And because the pure-to-drain ratio is 2:1, you're getting 2 cups of purified water for every cup that goes to drain. So it's built to be more water efficient in normal use. Maintenance stays structured instead of chaotic. The CF filter is rated for up to 6 months, or 500 gallons, the CB filter up to 12 months, or 1,100 gallons, and the RO filter up to 24 months, or 2,200 gallons, so you can plan your year without constant replacements. The system uses a twist-and-pull style for quick changes, so you're not wrestling with tools every time you service it. Add in the included RO faucet and a compact footprint, and you get a fast, tankless undersink RO setup that feels built-in once it's installed. If you've been skimming Waterdrop filter reviews and you want a countertop option that feels more like a full-on water station, the Waterdrop A1 goes in that direction. You get cold water down to 41 degrees Fahrenheit and hot water up to 203 degrees Fahrenheit right from the screen, so you're not waiting on a kettle or cooling down a just-boiled mug. It uses an instant heating setup with a 360-degree spiral design that delivers hot water in about 3 seconds, which is the kind of convenience you notice every single morning. And with a child lock built in, you can keep it on the counter without feeling nervous about curious hands. The filtration side is real RO too. It runs 7-stage filtration with a 0.0001 micron RO membrane, so you're reducing TDS and going after a wide range of common contaminants, including categories like chlorine taste, lead, and other heavy metals, so your water comes out cleaner and more consistent. Dual UV sterilization runs in both tanks with a 99.9% sterilization rate, so the stored water stays treated rather than just filtered once and forgotten. The reason that matters is simple. You can dispense hot or cold and still feel good about what's sitting inside the system. Refills are designed to be less annoying than the typical countertop routine. You get a 136-ounce water tank to cut down refills, plus a separate 34-ounce iced water tank, so cold water is ready without you constantly topping it up. The system keeps clean and wastewater separate, which ensures that you only ever consume purified water. It's also plug and play with no drilling, so you can place it where it actually makes sense: kitchen counter, break room, or a spot near your coffee setup. The controls are built for daily use, not tinkering. The OLED smart display gives you real-time TDS tracking and filter life monitoring, so you know what's happening at a glance. You also get 6 temperature settings and 5 water volume options, which makes it easy to hit just enough for a mug, a bottle, or a recipe measure without hovering. Filter lifespan is set up as a simple rhythm, about 6 months for the CF filter and 12 months for the RO filter. So upkeep feels scheduled, not random. If you're trying to land on the best Waterdrop filter for instant hot and cold with RO purification in one countertop unit, the A1 is what you need to get. By the way, if you're building your setup around coffee, tea, or cold bottles, I'd love it if you'd share your routine in the comments. It really helps other people reading through and trying to choose. Finally, if you're narrowing down the best Waterdrop filters shortlist, let's talk about the Waterdrop X12. This is the high-flow, under-sink, tankless pick built for a busy kitchen. It's rated at 1,200 gallons per day, and it can fill a 6-ounce cup in about 3 seconds, so you don't hesitate to use it for everything: bottles, stock pots, big pitchers, and non-stop cooking days. Because it's tankless, you're not trying to make room for a storage tank under your sink. The experience you get is turn the faucet, get water, even when your household uses a lot. Filtration goes deep with an 11-stage setup built around a 0.0001 micron RO membrane made of 16 layers, so you're filtering extremely fine particles and dissolved solids for more thorough purification. UV sterilization is part of the system, and there's an LED light element focused on water safety, so you get multiple layers aimed at keeping the output consistently treated. It's certified to NSF and ANSI 42, 58, and 372, which gives you a clear performance standard and lead-free material requirement behind the system. The upshot is purified water you'll actually reach for, especially when taste matters, like coffee, tea, or cooking. One extra piece here is mineralization. The system adds alkaline minerals like calcium and magnesium and targets a pH around 7.5. So you're not just stripping the water, you're shaping it into something meant to feel more balanced for everyday drinking. The digital control faucet monitors TDS and filter life and gives you adjustable water volumes, so you can tap out a quick glass or fill a larger bottle without guesswork. In practice, it feels like a smarter, more appliance-like faucet experience, not just a separate spout that drips purified water. Ownership is designed to stay smooth once it's installed, which is a big deal when you're chasing the best Waterdrop water filter for a busy kitchen. Setup is built for DIY in about 30 minutes, and the compact tankless design is made to save roughly 70% of under-sink space, so you're not rearranging everything just to make it fit. The pure-to-drain ratio is 3:1, so you're getting 3 cups of purified water for every cup that goes to drain, which supports efficient everyday use. Filters are rated for up to 12 months, or 1,100 gallons for F1A, up to 6 months or 550 gallons for F2, and up to 24 months or 2,200 gallons for F3, so you can set a rhythm and move on with your life. If you want the fastest, most always-ready Waterdrop under-sink RO experience in this lineup, the X12 is the one that feels built for it. Alright, those are the options. The simple way to choose, if you're still deciding which Waterdrop filter is best, is to match the filter to your routine. If you want fast, no electric under-sink filtration that keeps minerals, the Ultrafiltration setup fits beautifully. If you want countertop RO you can plug in anywhere, go that direction with either the N1 or the A1. If you want tankless under-sink RO with a smart faucet and fast flow, the under-sink RO picks like the X12 and G3P600 are the sweet spot. And if instant hot and cold dispensing is your daily convenience, the A1 is my top recommendation once again. And if you want to check them out for yourself, I've put links to the lowest price I've found right now for each Waterdrop water filter in the description box below.